more you are exposed to diabolism. That is why God does not need to do evil, because there is no evil in him. And somebody is asking, if there is no evil in heaven, how did the devil begin to imagine? When knowledge comes to a man, automatically the other side of knowledge is revealed to the person. When knowledge is made available to a man, automatically the other version of knowledge also comes to play. And so that is why we need to pray that the knowledge that our sons and daughters are going to get or acquire will not be a knowledge that the devil will use against our generation. That is why we pray for them, so that our generation will not suffer out of somebody's knowledge, because your brother gained a particular knowledge, your sister gained a particular knowledge, and that knowledge has brought him and a generation to utter destruction. Knowledge is the reason why people are innovative. People are able to come up with things that benefit society. And at the same time, by that same knowledge, they are able to break down a society. And so praying for people who are seeking knowledge at every level, from childbirth to child death, is very critical to our destiny. It's very critical to our nation. It's very critical to families. Because I know somebody who knowledge made him to say there is no God, because he thinks now he is known. He used to know God. Now he went to school, came back, he said there is no God. Because somebody have pumped something that he doesn't need into his system. Somebody have said something he doesn't need to hear. Somebody has neglected God because of a kind of knowledge that was revealed to him. One of the reasons we do this prayer is to preserve the knowledge of God in men. Maybe you might not understand today, but I always tell people this. Look, this nation Ghana is playing, is treading on a dangerous ground. Because if we don't take care, very soon Ghana will become like Nigeria today. And when I say these people get angry, you can be angry, but I'm telling you the truth. Why am I saying this? Nigeria started on a very good footing. Nigeria started on a very good note. What happened to Nigeria? Wicked men started gathering knowledge on how to make themselves rich. Wicked men started gathering knowledge on how to make themselves wealthy. Wicked men started gathering knowledge on how to establish themselves upon the nation, and they neglected the place of God. And one unfortunate thing that happened and is continuing to happen is that those in authority fail to punish them. And so because those in authority fail to punish them, the corruption grew and grew, because all that the young man needs to do is to get in a political position and then destroy the nation, because he knows that nothing will happen to him. And that is where Ghana is going gradually. Because wicked men come into political positions, they loot the nation, destroy the lives of people, destroy the lives of people's finances, people's business, and the next government looks on. They walk away. Very soon, that is where we are going. And that is why the knowledge of men must be prayed for, so that when a man rises into position, he will rise into a place where the fear of God accompanies his decisions. And so we are not just praying for anything. I was telling one of my daughters, she was like, this prophetic thing, why is this prophetic thing so increasingly growing in me? And I told her, if you hate this prophetic thing, you are hating your destiny. Because you see, for some of us, I tell you to the glory of God, every exams before we enter the exam hall, at least we know 5 questions that will come. For some of us, before we enter the exams hall, we know what is coming, because we had that prophetic intelligence coupled with what? Learning, serious studies. We are studying and receiving prophetic inclinations, revelations about what is coming. Sometimes we see the papers, we see the questions before we enter the exam hall. Sometimes people say, oh, it's a lie. Don't worry. If you don't have that experience, you can say it's a lie. It's like somebody who has not been rich before. He thinks that every rich man is a thief because he has not been rich before. He thinks every poor man is intelligent. He has not been poor before. So he thinks poverty equalizes intelligence. It's unfortunate. And that is why we have to pray, so that knowledge will not miss its way. Knowledge must not miss its way. Knowledge must not miss its way. That is what I'm saying. Knowledge must not miss its way. When knowledge misses its way, whoever missed, if he comes into power, we are all doomed. And that is the reason why we pray. Lifting